everyone, welcome to the Unit E channel. I'm Margaret, and today we are back with another chat with me. And as you can see, our setting today is a little bit different. We're not at a professional set, it's just at home. But today's topic, wow, this feels like a rocking chair. If I fall asleep in the middle of this chat, guys, forgive me, okay? I'm tired. But the topic of today's chat is about how Gen Zs and Gen Alphas are the anxious generation. And I've only heard this term before in like a panel discussion that I was part of at my previous school, and the talk was about how students and just youths nowadays are kind of addicted to their devices, and how do we solve that, and it's about that. And I've never really researched into what that really means on a professional level, so I'm gonna decode it from my own perspective. So the way I think about Gen Zs as the anxious generation is that we are so anxious about our lives on the internet and how our lives compare to the ones being shown on the internet. So to me, the way I think about me being the anxious person is when I send a message to a person, if that person does not respond within the next, let's say, 10 minutes, I am incredibly nervous and anxious. Why? I don't know, because I'm just so scared that they'll just maybe decode my message in a wrong way, or maybe I said the wrong thing, or maybe, I don't know, like they're mad at me for something that I did before, but I've not realized that I've did the wrong thing. Like, I am just so nervous. But then also, on the other perspective, I run a little social media account on RedNote, and whenever I post something, I'm anxious because I'm like always thinking about what others will think about what I post, and if I'll have like likes and stuff. Like, that's how I perceive this anxiety. And I think this really reflects deeply on how us being Gen Zs, I'm 13, I think I'm a Gen Z. I'm like right in the middle of a Gen Z and a Gen Alpha, and sometimes I'm being categorized into Gen Alpha, sometimes I'm being categorized into a Gen Z, whatever, I'm like in between, okay? Gen Z to A, whatever. And then I think the issue right now is that our lives are being like so attached to a online persona, and that we are always trying to make that person, that like part of ourselves so perfect, because we see everyone else online being so confident about themselves, being so happy about where they are in life. And I think that is where the anxiety comes from, because us as teenagers, sometimes our perceptions change really quickly just by what we see online, whether if it's true or not. We just see it maybe multiple times being said in a different way by multiple people, and then we just believe in that. And I think that is why we're anxious about our own future, because if our direction and what we think does not align with what is being said out there in the world, we are anxious that we're not going to be able to follow the route that people have set, and that will be like the oddballs, the outsiders of society, or whatever. Like, that is what I think is going on, or at least in my mind, that's how I perceive it. But there was another thing that I was about to say that I forgot, which is very bad, because I mean, we're here to talk and I forgot what I'm going to say. But anyways, I think like for me because I am depending on, well, depending is not really the word. Like, I really value, like, my relationship with my friends, of course, and also the projects that I'm working on, and my friends who work on the projects that I have with me together. If, like, they don't respond to my messages, I'm like, oh my god, like, is this okay? Like, do I need to try to explain to them what has happened or whatever? Because, like, for example, George. Okay. Actually, am I going to expose what is going on? Maybe. I mean, it's normal, okay? So I'm just gonna say it. It's fine. So George is in grade 11 in IBDP. Very, very busy. If you were or am, if you are, sorry, an IB student, you know how crazy DP is. He is in grade 11 and he edits all the videos for the podcast. And whenever I send him a message saying, hey George, can we have the teaser done by this weekend? He'll not reply in like the next week, and then I post one of those videos, and then like on the day I post it, I'll be like, hey George, can we have the teaser maybe done by next week? If not, I can post one of my vlogs. And then he does not reply, and then I go to my other friend who's like best friends with George, and then I tell him, hi, like, can you just check if George is okay recently, because he has not been replying to my messages, and like that's making me worry a lot about if I have done anything wrong, or is he like okay with his life, you know? And I think that is just the anxiety that I have. Like, if that friend does not reply, or if he or she does not really not really explain what has happened in between, but just kind of inform me of what is going on, I'm anxious. Like, that's where my anxiety comes from. And maybe I'm just overcomplicating things, because okay, sure, Margaret, people are busy. They have a life outside of Unit E, okay? We're not like a professional organization or a company yet, so I've got really nothing to worry about that much. But that's just where my anxiety is from, in terms of my usage of social media. And also, oh my god, wait, I think I remembered what I was gonna say. So you know how you like scroll? Yeah, everyone knows how to scroll, Margaret. But like, for me on RedNote, I use the app so much. Like, probably, I would say 50% of my screen time, or maybe 60, or I would say 70% of my screen time is on RedNote. I just scroll, and scroll. The reason why I scroll so much is that I am afraid that I might miss a post that I like. And so I just scroll, and I'll see all of those advertisements of those, oh, there's a new house that you can buy in New York, and yeah, like, I'll be seeing those posts, and then I'll be just continuously scrolling, thinking that I will be able to find, you know, a post that I like, and then I just keep scrolling, and that results in this toxic cycle, you know? And that results in my screen time being 9 hours. I know I should stop scrolling so much, but again, see, this is the anxiety. Like, it comes from many factors. Like, number one, it's the way people perceive our lives online. Number two is the way we like just shift our perspectives of how we think people perceive us when we like interact with them online. more intimately in terms of messaging or just in terms of when you post stuff. And then also it's just this post scrolling thing, and especially if you are on TikTok or whatever, then you might be like, oh my god, I might miss this video, and then you just continuously scroll because you think you are going to like what the app is going to give you, but maybe not. And then you're just like scrolling, and then you realize, oh, an hour has passed. And then that's like the very crazy thing. And I think one more factor that goes into this overall anxiety is that, like, we value our devices so much. Like, I remember when I co-directed a play back at BCIS. It was the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child play. And by the way, we were very fortunate to be able to be one of the first in China to host this performance as a school. And that was really fun. But then on the nights of the performance, the teacher was like, okay, everyone put your phones in this box. We're gonna collect it, we're gonna put it away safely, but you guys are just not gonna be able to have your phones. And then I was like, I just handed in my device, and I was like just running around backstage. I was getting all those like cues and stuff from my earpiece, and then I was very busy, and then I was like basically exhausted after 4 performances, so I didn't really think about my device as much. But some of the actors and actresses, if they did not like play that of a major role, they were like, oh, my device, I really hope that I have my device with me right now. And then when they got their device after the performance, they were like, oh, my life has been given back to me. And I think that is also part of the anxiety. I mean, right now, and also before, I've never brought my phone to school, not one day. Well, there was a day that I brought my phone to school, but it was for something, for an application. But that was like during school times, during the school day, I don't really think about my device. Like, including right now, I also can't bring my computer to school, which is kind of weird for me because I've been bringing my computer to school every day since grade 4, and right now not being able to bring it, it's kind of a change for me. But I don't really think about my device at school, and I don't like sneak it into school because I know that I will get into big trouble if I do. But I don't really think about my device. But I know a lot of my friends who are just like, oh my god, I don't have my phone at school. Like, that's going to be a major issue for me because I won't be able to message my friends and all of that. And I'm like, hey, you're at school. Like, you're not supposed to really think about this stuff yet. I mean, I think the reason why I don't think about my device as much is because I do find joy like outside of my device. Like, I have other stuff that I occupy myself with without my devices. But I think this is also another factor of the anxiety, and I think those 4 factors just builds together and they form the magic square of the anxiety of Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, and just basically anyone with a device nowadays, including you, millennials. Don't pretend that you're not reliant on your devices nowadays. But I think, like, but I've heard some of those stories online of kids being so addicted to video games, and then they're so addicted to the point where they grab their phone and then they eat so quickly to the point where, like, they don't even chew, and then they just constantly, like, they just move around with their device everywhere. They don't go to school, and I'm like, oh my god, are video games like really that addicting? I don't know, because I don't play video games, okay? I know, I don't play video games. I'm so self-disciplined. But I just feel so nervous when I play a game. For example, when I play the no internet game on Google, you know, like that dinosaur jumping game. Yeah, I know, I'm very good at it, kind of. But even when I play that, I'm so nervous that I might lose my streak, you know? My 3,000 streak that I've not beaten in like 2 years. But like, video games make me nervous, and so I don't want to let that be part of my relaxation, because if that is part of my relaxation, then why am I making myself more nervous? So I don't play games, but for people who do, and because in games you have a reward afterwards, so I think that's like why we're so addicted and we're so anxious that we will lose our game streak if we don't play for one day. And I think that is also another part of the anxiety. Oh my god, everything triggers anxiety. Anxiety. Oh my god, I have to stop saying it or else I get copyrighted. But I had a friend who's graduating this year. Congratulations, Anna. You've made it to the end of DP and you're moving on to college. Hopefully you'll survive. But Anna, who is my friend back at BCIS, she said that in the panel talk that we were part of, she said that she plays video games basically every day, but she has not missed a deadline. And I really look up to that, because that's definitely a skill, you know? Like, you have to know how much games to play to like just stop and then move on with your work. In DP, she's taking 2 science classes, okay? And she's like a top tier student. And I think it's just all about balance and knowing what you value, and like spreading out your passions, because we don't live in a virtual world. We could, but we don't live in one. We don't live in, what's the game again? You know, in Ready Player One, that game, I forgot the name. I mean, I've only watched part of the movie, so forgive me if I don't know the name. But like, we don't live in that game, because the world that you see in the game, like the real world in the movie that you see, it's disastrous. Like, people are living in landfills. But people are just so dependent on their identity in the game that they don't care about what is like in the real world. That's devastating if you think about it. So get out there, find out what's your real passion, feel grateful for being alive and being able to discover more, knowing that you still have time, you still have opportunity, no matter how old you are. Yeah, just don't be anxious. Don't depend on things too much. And yeah, that's it for today's chat with me. I hope you have some takeaways from this little talk that we had. And let me know about your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, I'll see you in the next chat. Bye.